Hi. Um, so I wanted to start doing this a little while ago, but I just didn't know like where to begin just because I feel so strange, just like recording myself, and essentially talking to myself, but hoping that at some point this reaches others, or God forbid, if something were to happen to me, that there is, like a video footprint where people can see my feelings on what's going on. They can read my face for my emotions and how these things are affecting me. And just, I just want to share my point of view, like kind of raw and uncut and whatever else. So I'm going to attempt to do like a video diary or vlog because I am trying to write in an actual like journal. I currently have written like 2 pages, just because it's been so hard to even think about what to write. Just with everything going on, there's so much in my head that it's like, okay, I have so much in there that I want to get out, but I haven't really figured out the healthiest way to do it yet, and the way that's going to make me grow and make me be able to go through this almost grieving process that I'm going through currently. I also have this awesome book that that my sister's partner got me, that I've started to read through, but I just haven't really gotten a chance to really start using it. I'm very grateful, and along with a few other books from her and a few others that I'm just really grateful that everybody is so supportive right now. So that being said, I'm just going to give like a little backdrop of my story, and I really don't know even what I'm going to say. I'm trying to find the healthiest way for me to deal with what's going on in my life right now. So this might be like a one-time thing and a hit and a miss, or this could be something that I try to continue doing further on. First of all, sorry for my droopy boobs and stuff, but it's hot and it's my body, so whatever. All right, so a little bit of backstory. As all of the people that are close to me know, and those that are in my social media, like, community, whatever you want to call it, everybody's aware of what's going on right now. But just a little backdrop, just a little backstory, just to kind of, I don't know, just fill in those that maybe are just joining us, or maybe this video will reach other places. Maybe I'll start a whole, like, journey videography. I'm terrible at this. Anyway, okay, so I just turned 32 January 3rd of this year, 2020, and my boyfriend and I's plan has been this whole time to move to North Carolina at the end of the year. So that being said, it at this point is, I don't believe this happening, but we will see what happens. So that being said, at the beginning of the year, I decided, you know what, Amanda, like, you have insurance, start using it. I just want to be honest. I've always been one of those people, and I worked in the medical profession for a while, so it's really kind of pitiful, but I've just been one of those people that puts off going to the doctor, partially just because I'm scared, like, of going, like, let's be honest, a little bit of laziness, and not making the time, because you make time for things that are important, right? And really just because I've had like issues, and I'm just been like terrified that they're gonna find something, and I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, better that I just don't know, right? Better than I just live my life not knowing what the fuck is going on in my body. Sorry for cursing. So anyway, I decided at the beginning of the year, you know what, I'm going to be moving. I've got this insurance. Like, let me try to take care of the health issues that I know that I'm dealing with now. And that way, by the time we move, like, I'll have this slate. I'll know what's going on with me medically. I'll have a few more answers to some issues that I've been dealing with for a little bit. And, like, easy peasy. So one of the doctors, I like, when I got a physical, I've like looked into like therapy, but the main focus that I had on was going to the gynecologist. That reasoning being is that And this is going to be TMI for some people, but this is I just want to be as honest and open as possible. So if you don't want to watch because of some of the information I'm giving, I completely understand, but still, I'm going to be honest. This is my journey, and I'm going to tell it from my point of view, which includes me being like raw and open and honest with everybody. So my reasoning for going to the gynecologist is because, number one, I have always had like the worst periods. I mean, I'm talking like I don't even understand how I get anything done. They're excruciating. Heavy bleeding, cramping in my entire body, nausea and vomiting sometimes. Like they're terrible, and it's every month. That never changes. It's not like, 1 month out of ever so often I get a really bad one. It's literally every single month. And then much like every other woman, I'm expected to just go on about my day, go to work, and just be fine with it, right? So that was the one reason of going, to figure out like and really pinpoint why they're so bad. I've been told that I could possibly have PCOS. I've been told it could be endometriosis. I do know that I have had like cyst on my ovaries in the past. So I just wanted to have like a conclusive answer and start pinpointing it and being able to treat it, because leading into my second reason for going is that I am 32 years old and I don't have children, and sorry. And I wanted to go and get everything looked at because I really want children, and I'm just, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I want to figure out why I haven't had kids up until this point. I've been with the same partner for almost 3 years, and it's not that we've tried to get pregnant, but we definitely haven't taken precautions against it. So just feeling like, maybe there's something more going on that is preventing me from being able to conceive a child naturally, So those are my two main reasons for going. Well, so my gynecologist, I tell him all these things, and he schedules me for an appointment to get a transvaginal ultrasound. And for those of you that don't know, that's the one, not the one that goes on your stomach, but the one that actually they have to go into you, and that's how they look at things from the inside. So I go to my appointment, which was February 24th, and today is March 13th, I believe. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. So I go to my appointment, and the ultrasound tech, I just know something's wrong, right? She asked me why I'm there. I told her my basic story that I told you guys just now, and that I'm just trying to kind of get answers and figure out why things are the way they are. And her immediate response is like, well, you're definitely going to get some answers because I can see some things here. And then she moves it over a little bit and is kind of just quiet. And not the most reassuring feeling when you're at, trying to check what's going on with you and you're with a medical professional, for them to just like stop talking, like be at a loss for words. Definitely not the most comforting feeling, right? So she's an ultrasound tech. So the doctor comes in, or one of the doctors. The doctor is super concerned. Like, she just starts looking all around, and she's asking me all these questions, like, do you have any pains? Do you get tired? Do you feel like full? Like, just different questions that at the time I don't know why she's asking me the questions. So then she tells me that my left ovary is the size of a golf ball or a small tangerine, which is a bit larger. It's not huge, right? But it's definitely bigger than it's supposed to be. So, and that I have a tumor that's about, well, at the time they didn't know the size. I actually asked the size at the follow-up appointment, but for the sake of this video, the tumor was about 5 centimeters large on my left ovary, and on my right ovary, they did see what they believed to be a benign cyst that didn't seem like anything to worry about, right? And I'll save that for later. But that she wanted to schedule me with, sorry, that's Lola, shh. That she wanted to schedule me with an oncologist, like, pretty much immediately. So fast forward to the next week, which is about 2 weeks ago now. Fast forward to the next week, and I am sitting at the cancer center to see an oncologist, Dr. Thomas Rutherford, who is apparently quite accredited and well-known in the industry that he is in. Definitely a great doctor. But so I'm sitting there, and I go in to see him to follow up with him. I guess he's already looked at my images. He's already, they've done some blood work on me, different things. So he takes me in and does I'm not a medical professional, so I'm going to call it a manual exam. He doesn't use any type of tools. He just uses what God gave him. So immediately he gives me the exam, right? He finishes the exam, and the first words out of his mouth is, well, your left ovary has to come out. Like, we have to take it out. It's pretty much, it's entirely too large. Well, stop there. Put my clothes back on. My mom's with me because she's my freaking rock, and she's been with me every step of this journey. But we go sit in the office, which is the last thing you want to do in a cancer center, because like in movies and stuff, it's always like them sitting in an office. That is when they get the bad news, right? So much like movies, we sit down and he tells me how he believes that my left ovary is cancerous, or it's potentially precancerous or cancerous, that he does not believe there's any chance that it is benign. The right one he believes is benign, but he's not, he doesn't know, that he wants to schedule me for surgery immediately. And by immediately, I mean literally it was the next week after this that I had surgery. So he wants to schedule me for surgery immediately to remove my left ovary, and while he's in there, they're going to do further tests. They may have to remove more, but he doesn't know at the moment until he actually gets in there. So yeah, I'm told that I possibly have cancer. I don't know for sure at that point, but I know that it is a possibility, and that's enough to freak me the hell out. So fast forward a week. I have my surgery Tuesday, March 3rd, which was last Tuesday. And while I was under, it was found that the left ovary actually was not cancer. They did have to remove it just because the tumor was so large and the ovary was so enlarged that it was just best to come out. But crazy enough, the ovary that they thought had nothing on it is the one that is cancerous. So they call my mom and dad, and my mom has to make the decision. They're given the option to either do a full hysterectomy or to keep my cervix, because apparently my cervix is completely healthy. My mom and the doctor decided it's best to still give me a shot, that if in the future I wanted to possibly try IVF or something of that nature, that I would have that chance. So they leave my cervix intact, and remove both of my ovaries, my fallopian tubes, and some lymph nodes. I wake up, I'm told what has happened. It still happened so fast, I haven't really had time to process it. Yeah, so that being said, the lymph nodes, some were sent to pathology, and I don't have my follow-up until this coming Monday, which is March 16th. So I actually currently am in a state of not knowing if they were able to remove all of the cancer, or at the follow-up I will find out if they removed all the cancer, and if not, I may have to undergo chemo, potentially further surgery, but the hope is obviously that they got all of the cancer, and like I said, I find that out in 4 days. I'm very terribly nervous. I see this video is going a little long, but this is going to be the intro video, so it's probably going to be the longest one. I just wanted to kind of tell you guys my journey. So it's been hard physically, and I am a little ashamed to do this, because before this I was not in love with my body, let's be honest, but now I'm fairly self-conscious even more. So I want to show you guys where the incision is at, and then also I've had to give myself shots for blood thinning. So I want to show that, because like I said, this may not even ever get to anybody else. I just want to be able to look back on this after I've beat everything, and I want to be able to see how far I've come. I'm a bag of emotions, so just like, excuse me. So you guys get to be like the first ones to, or me in the future, whatever, to see how things look. And I know I've been covering my stomach this whole time, just because, like, I mean, I don't know if you can tell because my skin's like the same color as my bra. But yeah, so I just wanted to show everybody what I'm living with now. And I'm a little slow, don't worry. So this is it. So I was cut from like right above my belly button to my pubic bone, essentially. Um, my sister and mom say the incision looks great. It's very thin under here. These are supposed to like fall off on their own, but I do have dissolvable stitches, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little like extra cautious, and I don't want to remove these because I in my head I feel like they're like helping me not come like open. And it's hard to pick up on the camera. Well, not some of them, but all these little dots and bruises on either side of my incision are because I have to give myself, like I said, the shot, which is a blood thinner, to try and make sure that I don't there's no blood clotting around my incision. So that's why I take those. I only have to take those until Tuesday. I just have to do it for 2 weeks after the surgery. So I'm almost done with them, thank God, because you would think I'd get better at it after a while, but not so much. So now we're here. I've been staying with my parents and my sister and my youngest niece since everything happened, just because Tony and I live on the 3rd floor, and since I said I'm being honest in this video, my family is there a lot more for me right now than my boyfriend is. So I don't see the benefit in me being home where I'm going to potentially just be alone all of the time, as opposed to being around my family who cares and loves me and is going to be there for me during the time that I need it most. So what I'm feeling right now, it's really hard for me to explain how I feel to people because I really don't feel, and it's nothing against anybody at all. I just kind of feel like this is one of those things that, like, if you're not going through it or haven't gone through something slightly similar, that, like, you're not gonna understand. Like I said, it's not a stab at anybody, and I don't want people to be able to understand what I'm feeling because it fucking sucks, right? So I figured out last night, here we are, like 10 days after my surgery. I figured out last night that I think I'm grieving. If I had to put it into like a specific feeling or word or whatever you want to call it, I would say that I'm grieving. I'm grieving because although I've come to terms with a while ago, like thinking that, okay, it seems like I probably can't have kids, and I came to terms with it, you know, a while ago before any of this even happened. But I was still, even as much as I said I was okay with it, I always held on to that little bit of hope that, like, there was going to be a day that, you know, I missed my period and I was going to take a test and, like, I was going to miraculously see a positive, you know, a positive result on the test. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many tests I've taken in the past, and, like, it's just the most heartbreaking thing, all in the negative every time. Like, I just wanted to know, like, what it was like to pee on one of them fucking pregnancy tests and see it positive. Like, I would say I was about 90%, I had about 90% come to terms with it, if we're being honest. Like, but there was still that 10% that I just held out that hope that, okay, like, there's gonna be a miracle. Like, I've seen a few of my friends recently, get pregnant that they thought they couldn't get pregnant either, so I was like, oh, this is like the universe showing me, like, yeah, you can, like, it'll be fine, it'll happen to you too. But now that this has happened, even though, yes, I can do IVF in the future if I want, and if I, you know, hit the lottery, I now know for a fact, 100%, that there is absolutely no way that I will ever naturally conceive. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, it's never, ever, ever going to happen. So, like, I'm grieving the loss of my ability to have children. I'm grieving the loss of feeling like I've lost a part of myself. And honestly, I feel like less of a woman. I mean, I just want to be honest, like I said. I've talked to, like, my sister, and maybe my mom, mostly my sister, and, like,
My sister says that I'm not, and I'm logical. I know I'm not less of a woman, but I feel like one because everything that makes me a woman was taken away from me. And I know that potentially it completely saved my life. And I'm very grateful for that, especially if I randomly was able to just like catch cancer and, you know, before it got too crazy and killed me. Like, I'm very grateful for that, but it's still, I mean, I'm quite sure it's not the same as grieving the loss of a person or an actual child, but it's like I'm just grieving the loss of like those children that I thought I was going to carry at one point. So I know we all have like, God has a plan for all of us. I'm not like super duper religious, but I definitely am, you know, to an extent, and I do know and feel that there's a plan for me. And I've always felt it heavy on my heart to adopt and foster. So I do almost feel like this is, I'm sorry for wiping my face so much. I do almost feel like this is, even the universe is like almost messed up kind of way of pushing me towards like what I'm really supposed to do. Because, you know, there's so many kids out there that need love, and I've always wanted to like adopt. Like, it's literally, I think I can remember since being a kid even thinking about adopting, you know. um so yeah, that's great, but it's still, I mean, it still sucks, and I'm still working through all these emotions, but right now it's mostly sadness. I'm really happy because I have so many people that are being so supportive, and it's honestly overwhelming. Like, it makes me tear up, but in like a good way. The amount of people that have been there for me and had my back, and it's amazing. Like, it sucks that it took me to be able to, you know, see them in that light, like for me to have to go through this to be able to see that, but I'm grateful for that. I do feel guilty often because I know this is really hard on like my family, and guilt is a weird feeling to feel going through this, but I hate that they're worried too. I mean, and rightfully so. I would be freaking out if my sister was going through this, or God forbid, you know, anybody in my family. Like, I would, yeah, I'd be completely on edge myself. So I know that they're trying to stay strong for me, and I feel bad because I feel like I should be able to be there for them too, but I know they're doing everything so that, like, to make things easier for me right now. I just don't know. I don't really know. Like I said, I definitely didn't plan on talking for over 20 minutes, but I just really, it's hard. It's really difficult. I don't know what my future holds. I'm hopeful that there is a future. Um, there will be one. I'm gonna fight this and I'm gonna win. I mean, I've been through so many tests, and I've come out victorious on the other side of all of them. And I don't see why this would be any different. It's just hard. I feel like I'm gonna have to start my life over, and my life is never gonna be the same. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, the one person that I would really like to be here, it has not been. And, you know, that's something I'm gonna have to deal with at some point. Um, and as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of my crying has been over that particular person. And it sucks because, like, I don't want all the people that are there for me feeling like I'm not appreciative, because holy shit, like, I've never been more appreciative. Like, I could not put into words how much it means to me, all the people that are there for me. But that one person, you know. So, this is the start of my potential journey. You know, hopefully it's a quick one, and hopefully what I went through took care of everything. But like I said, I don't know. And I just, yeah. really don't know what else to say. I just needed to get some of my feelings out. So, I will maybe make another video on Monday after I get my results. And hopefully it'll be a lot better than this one. And a lot shorter. So if you actually watch the video until the end, thank you. Like I said, I'm all over the place right now, so forgive my scatterbrain, but I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later. All right.